My agenda here. All right, this is in the matter of Xavier Santiago, file number 2018-18950FH. Mr. Santiago is joining us from the Illinois County Jail. And I have Rhonda Underwood, who was appointed to represent Mr. Santiago. This matter was adjourned to today for a pre-trial. And Miss Underwood, how do you wish to, wait, what did I do with that?
Your Honor, I believe Mr. Santiago has a pretrial scheduled on the upcoming case in district court on April 18th. Is that correct, Mr. Santiago? So we would be asking for this to be adjourned till after that, Your Honor.
All right, hold on a second, because my Zoom just shut down. Okay, I'm back up. Okay.
He's gone.
Right.
Jill's gone too.
Yeah, I just shut down.
Yeah.
Becky, will you let the jail know something happened? And
Okay.
oh, it's back. It's back. I don't know what happened there.
I'm sorry about that.
Mr. No, I think it was my computer, like that Zoom shut down and was doing something. So I apologize. Miss Underwood, for the record, could you make that statement again?
Your Honor, Mr. Santiago, I believe, has a pretrial date of April 18th in district court on the underlying matter in this violation. So I believe we will be requesting a adjournment till after that date.
How about April 26th, the next week?
That would be fine, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Santiago, your attorney is asking to set this over past your district court. I can get it in like the next week. So I'm going to set this over to April 26th at 8:30 in the morning. All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Santiago.
Yep.
And if you can let them know, I'd like Mr. McCarver next if possible. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Coast, I got Mr. Crystal, but Mr. Holtz. Mr. Coast, who are you popping in on this morning?
Hello, Judge. I'm here for Jackie Smith, and I didn't see him on the docket, but I thought he was going today. John Dotson.
Mr. Dotson is on the docket today. It's like
Okay.
way at the end.
Got it.
And then Jackie Smith, I'm probably not going to get to her till maybe 11 or maybe this afternoon.
It sounds good, Judge. Yeah, with Jackie, supposedly she's in treatment, but I don't have any proof of that. I
Okay,
just need to find out if she's in treatment or not.
okay.
Thank
I
you.
have a gentleman joining me from the Michigan Department of Corrections. Sir, what is your name?
Gary Reiner, if you're talking.
I'm sorry, I had a couple people speaking. Could you say that again?
Gary Michael Lenz.
Gary Michael Lentz.
Mr. Lenz is mine, Your Honor.
All right, hold on a second. Let me get the file. Let me find it. All right, so this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Gary Michael Lentz, file number 2023-21231FH. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Lentz. And I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. The court has received an amended felony information. Ms. Underwood, did you receive that as well?
Let me check, Your Honor. I had not as of, but doesn't mean it isn't there now.
I have someone who's called in on a telephone line. Can I ask your name, please?
I'm on a telephone.
You are. What is your name?
Gary Reinhardt.
All right, so Mr.
When you say a
Reinhardt.
telephone line, you're talking about a cell phone?
No, I'm talking about you. You're good. I gotcha. All right, so, hold on, Mr. Reinhardt. Who is your attorney?
I don't have attorney.
You don't? Okay, all right. So, Mr. Reinhardt, if you can just, wait one moment and I'll be right with you, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm gonna put you on hold and I'll be right back with you. Okay, all right, so, Ms. Underwood, did you receive the amended information on Mr. Lenz?
I do not see it, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Sneed, I have, is it amended or is it, I don't know. So it just says count 1 aggravated indecent exposure, which is a high court misdemeanor, habitual offender, second offense notice. Is that amended or is it just?
Yeah, it is amended, Judge.
Okay, so Ms. Underwood, how do you wish to proceed today?
Well, in this case, oh, here we go. Okay. Okay, I believe this amended information is correct, Your Honor, but I do need a minute just to review it with my client.
Okay, so sir, I am going to put you and Miss Underwood into a breakout room so that she can review that with you. And once she's done speaking with you, she'll come back in and I'll close that breakout room and bring you back, all right? Okay. And at the jail, who do I have with me today in the red uniform?
Matt McCarver.
Mr. Matthew McCarver, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it, can I ask you a question?
Maybe, go ahead.
Huh?
You can ask a question, go ahead.
I was wondering if I can take a plea today or do I have to wait for further court dates?
So, Mr. McCarver, your attorney's here. She tried to get in to see you yesterday, but was not able to visit with you. She's gonna meet with you this morning and she'll give you some more information, all right?
All right.
Okay, so, just bear with us for just a moment. Are either of you a party? Or just here to watch?
I have a court date.
Okay, so what's your name?
For
Jeannie Berg. Okay. Oh, there you are. All right, I'm gonna mark that you're in person. All right, Mr. Malaro is next door in the other judge's court, so it might be a few minutes, all right?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
She's a new hire.
All right, Ms. Underwood, I will close that breakout room and bring him back. All right, so we are back on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Gary Michael Lentz. Ms. Underwood, have you now had a moment to speak with Mr. Lentz?
Yes, I have, Your Honor. And I've
All
spoken
right.
to him earlier this week, just to make sure we had our ducks in a row. Mr. Lentz, it's my understanding, will be pleading no contest to count one with the habitual offenders being dismissed.
Right, so he's going to plead no contest.
To aggravated indecent exposure, the 2-year high court misdemeanor with
Okay.
the habitual being dismissed, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. So, Mr. Lentz, you want to raise your right hand for me?
Yes.
Do you, thank you. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and thank you for speaking up. The way they're set up, you're kind of faint. So now, Mr. Lentz, you have heard the statement of your attorney and the prosecuting attorney. Is it your intention to plead guilty to count one, aggravated indecent exposure, which is a high court misdemeanor that carries a maximum penalty of up to 2 years in prison and or a $2,000 fine? So is it your intention to plead no contest to that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, due to the reasons that, I mean, as I presented to the court, I'm not gonna gamble my life over a misdemeanor charge. I believe that's, in my own opinion, unconstitutional, that's cruel and unusual to be faced with such, in my view, a machination. But the main aspect is, on top of that, I'm not properly receiving.
So, Mr. Lentz, we can't really hear you, but I just asked if it was your intention to plead no contest, so you can just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, you'll get an opportunity to make a statement at the time of sentencing, okay?
Okay, it's just, it's supposed to be conditioned based on the issues that I
Can
raised
you let them
before.
know, are you able to scoot up, like, closer to the device?
I just want to make sure it's supposed to be conditioned based on the issues that I presented to the prosecutor and in a letter and to the court, to the letter and in my preliminary examination, just jurisdictional issues. That's it. I just want to make sure that's on the record about that.
So none of that was presented to me at the preliminary exam because I didn't do it. So I've never received a letter from you. And I'm sorry, that's not information I have. Do you want to plead no contest or no?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, all right. And do you understand? So Mr. Sneed and Miss Underwood, there is a SORA notice. I don't think tier 1 applies. Does he have a prior conviction?
The conviction is the 2009 conviction of using the internet, Your Honor.
So that would make this, is it a tier 2 or a tier 3? For sex offender registration purposes.
I'm not sure if that was that a sex offender registering?
So there's a SORA notice attached, said if it's a tier 1, if the victim is a minor, which doesn't apply here, I don't think. And if it is a tier 2 offense, if the defendant has a prior conviction for a tier 1 offense. And if it's a tier 3 offense, if the defendant has a prior conviction for a tier 2. So I don't know what I don't have that information in my felony information as to whether using the internet to commit a crime is a tier 2 or tier 3, or if SORA applies at all. So Mr. Steen?
Your Honor, under the SORA statute, using a computer to commit a crime, it's under 750-145D2F, which is what his judgment of sentence in Wayne County from 2009 reflects. That in and of itself is not an offense requiring registration. However, there's one question which I had emailed counsel about yesterday, which is if the conviction for using the internet to commit a crime under that statute does become a tier 2 offense requiring registration, if the underlying offense, using the internet to commit the crime, if the underlying offense is a violation of the statute MCL 750.145 C, which is child sexually abusive activity, which we don't know whether or not that is the underlying crime. There is some information indicating that that may have been the underlying crime. And so if that is the case, I wouldn't want it to later be found out that his conviction for using the internet to commit a crime is a tier 2 offense based upon the underlying crime being child sexually abusive activity.
So, and I don't have access to lien or anything, Ms. Underwood?
Here's where I'm kind of at a loss about that. My client pled guilty to using the computer to commit a crime, and we do SORA based on what they plead guilty to. So I'm.
Well, what I would say is I don't have the information because I don't get a copy of lien or his prior history. So I think that someone needs to be able, Ms. Underwood, perhaps look at his prior offense.
We
to
have the
see if
judgment of sentence, Your Honor. We have.
Okay, so will this offense require him to register as a sex offender?
Not the offense that he was found guilty of.
But was it a tier 2 or tier 3?
Your Honor, he was found guilty of using the internet to commit abusive activity, or he was found guilty of the statute in the amended complaint, Your Honor, under the habituals.
All right, so Mr. Lentz, your prior offense of using a computer to commit a crime, did it require you to register under SORA?
No, I've never required, I'm not registered in law enforcement information network.
Okay.
I've never been convicted as a
So,
sex offender.
Based on that information, Mr. Sneed, would I be wrong in assuming that he would not be required to register under SORA for this offense? Or he would?
I believe that stands to reason that he would not be required if he hasn't done so in the past, Judge.
All right, so Mr. Lentz, we're going to move forward, assuming that you're not going to be required to register as a sex offender. In the event that information is wrong at the time of sentencing, you can withdraw your plea and we can look at it again, all right?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, are you satisfied with Ms. Underwood and the advice that she's given you?
Regarding this specific issue, yeah, I'm satisfied with this issue.
Excellent. All right, so neither the prosecutor, the defendant, or anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed a possible sentence with the court. Is that correct, Ms. Underwood?
It is, Your Honor.
And Mr. Sneed?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
All right, and is that correct as far as you're aware, Mr. Lentz?
Dealing with what? I couldn't hear you.
So neither the prosecutor, the defendant, nor anyone else has had a conversation with me about a possible sentence with this court. Do you agree with that? As far as you know?
No, I haven't heard anything.
Okay, if a no contest plea is accepted, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and court agrees, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent. until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial and to ask those witnesses questions. Mr. Goldstein, Mr. Goldstein, I'll be taking Mr. Crystal next, so you're next. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial and not to have your silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. Sir, do you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable had you been convicted at trial? Do you understand that?
Not fully, but yeah, I understand, generally.
All right, so do you understand if you had gone to trial and been convicted, you would have had an automatic right to appeal? Do you understand that?
Yeah, automatic, right, yeah.
Yeah, but by taking a plea, you don't have an automatic right anymore, and so some of those issues would not be appealable. Do you understand that?
Yeah, appeal by leave, yeah.
Okay. Do you understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea would then be by application for leave to appeal and not by right? So you wouldn't have an automatic right to appeal. You'd have to file an application for appeal. Do you understand that?
Yeah, that's why it ties into what I said earlier.
Okay. So if you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you?
No.
All right, so Mr. Lentz, your attorneys advised me that you're going to be pleading no contest. So that's what you would say if you wish to do that, all right? So how do you wish to plead to the charge that on or about October 29 of 2022 in Madison Township in the county of Lenawee, that you did commit the offense of aggravated indecent exposure?
I do not contend, so no contest.
Okay, all right. Has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead no contest to this charge?
No.
Okay. Do you understand that if I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea? Do you understand that?
Well, my main issue, like I said, was the machinations dealing with, my counsel not raising my jurisdictional defects to where that's what makes it to where I can't
All right,
contend.
so do you want a plea or no?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so do you understand, if I accept your plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats? That's the only thing I'm asking you about. No one's made you any promises or made any threats against you, have they?
No, not directly.
All right, and is it your choice to enter this plea today?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, all right. Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises or threats or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead no contest? Ms. Underwood?
No.
And Mr. Sneed?
Your Honor, I'd just like to clarify, the defendant indicated he hasn't been subject to any direct threats. I'd just like to rule out any indirect threats as well.
All right. So, Mr. Lentz, nobody's made any indirect threats to you, have they?
No, the issue is just that indirectly is that I'm having my life limited and being held at jeopardy. I mean, you can say it's not direct. I mean, I haven't received anything that's saying, oh, you're gonna do this, so I'm gonna kill you, or say, oh, I'm gonna
Okay,
take
good. All right. So has your attorney promised you any particular sentence or estimated what your sentence is going to be?
You said estimated? I mean,
Yeah, she told
she
you
just told me
what
I
any
faced-
sentence is going to be.
She just told me what I faced, what I would face is, 2 years maximum with the
Okay.
charge.
All right, is it your own choice to plead no contest?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so, Mr. Sneed or Ms. Underwood, who's going to place factual basis on the record?
Your Honor, I'm happy to do so. The defendant, inmate Gary Lentz, was lawfully imprisoned at the Gus Herron Correctional Facility, which is in Township of Madison, Lenawee County, State of Michigan. And it is true that on October 29th, 2022, prisoner Gary Lentz exposed his penis while masturbating in the view of Corrections Officer Brandy Phipps. Corrections Officer Phipps was conducting rounds at the time, and she observed Lentz through his cell door. The MDOC misconduct report composed by Corrections Officer Phipps stated on the date and time being October 29, 2022, while doing rounds, prisoner Lentz, inmate number 655-484, was directly observed through his cell door holding a small erect penis with his left hand and moving it in an up and down motion. These actions were made in an attempt to harass or degrade the officer. At no time did prisoner Lentz have staff permission to perform these actions.
All right, Ms. Underwood, anything you would add to that?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Based on the facts placed on the record and from the information contained in the police report as recited by Mr. Steen, the court finds beyond a reasonable doubt that on or about October 29th of 2022, at the Gus Harrison facility located in Madison Township in the county of Lenawee, that the defendant did make an open or indecent exposure of his person by fondling his penis in an area of view of correction workers working there at the time. And therefore the court accepts the no contest plea. Has the court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D? Mr. or Ms. Underwood?
It has, Your Honor.
Mr. Sneed?
Yes, it has, Your Honor. Thank you.
I accept the plea. It has been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of his rights. He does have competent counsel. This court has made no agreement regarding the possibility of a plea or possible sentence in this case with the prosecutor, the defense attorney, the defendant, or anyone acting in the interest of either of them. I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation. Ms. Underwood, are you available May 25 for sentencing?
What date, Your Honor? I'm sorry.
May 25.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Lentz, where are you currently residing?
The Oaks Correctional Facility.
Oaks Correctional Facility. Miss Teskey or Miss Holly, who's handling my pleas today?
I am, Your Honor.
All right. So, sir, someone will be in contact with you from the Michigan Department of Corrections to prepare a pre-sentence report. Obviously, you pled no contest, so you don't have to make any admissions to them about the events that occurred, but be truthful with them about your background, and they'll prepare that report. Ms. Underwood will receive a copy of it, and she'll attempt, and usually she's really good about it, to meet with you via Zoom or so forth to review that, and then we'll see you back on May 25 at 8:15 for sentencing. Mr. Lentz, do you have any objection to being sentenced by Zoom like we are today? You have a right to be in person.
Okay,
You know,
I'd rather prefer, I think it's more proper just in general to be in.
I can't hear you, sir. Sir, I can't hear you. Do you want to be in person or do you want to be sentenced via Zoom?
I think it's just more proper to be in person, to be in court in person.
Okay, so I'll mark down that it'll be in person. So we'll see you in person that day for sentencing, all right?
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You have a good day.
Oh,
You-
Bye.
when we alert.
Okay, so Mr. Goldstein, hold on one second. Let me get Mr. McCarver. I'm gonna call the case of Miss Underwood. All right, so this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Matthew McCarver, file number 2023-213-20FH. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. McCarver, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. Miss Underwood and Mr. McCarver, I've opened a breakout room. Go ahead and join that. All right, so then Mr. Goldstein.
Your Honor, can Mr. Bayonetto text me if he would?
Mr. Bayonetto, can you respond or text Miss Underwood?
Yeah, I can.
All right, Mr. Crystal, I'm trying to get him connected to audio. So, Mr. Goldstein, when are you going to be in the building again?
Probably not until the end of April, Your Honor. I've got a murder trial in Wayne County starting on Monday. That's going to be 2 weeks.
Okay. All right, Mr. Crystal, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right, let me get your phone on. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Alan David Crystal, file number 2022-20896FH. I have David Goldstein appearing on behalf of Mr. Crystal, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for a pretrial in this matter. Mr. Goldstein, how do you wish to proceed today?
Your Honor, Mr. Sneed and I have been in communication. We're both fairly confident that we can get this matter resolved. So, but we're not quite there yet. We'll leave it to the court's discretion whether you want to set it for a trial or another pretrial, but we think we can get it worked out.
Okay, well, I mean, that being said, I probably prefer just a pretrial within a month or so. When's your murder trial be done by the end of April?
By the end of April, yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Goldstein, why don't I set this out for May 3rd?
It's
For a
fine. Your
pretrial
Honor.
at 8:30? 8:30? Would that be all right?
That's fine, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, so I'll set it for a pretrial conference on May 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That'll be via Zoom, and Mr. Goldstein, you'll prepare the stip in order to adjourn.
I will do that. Mr. Sneed, can I sign your name?
Yes, please.
Okay.
All right, thank you. You're all set on that one, and let's see
I'm
who
sorry,
else
Your
you
Honor,
have.
there is one additional thing that Mr. Sneed and I did not discuss. You understand, Your Honor, that my client is on certain certain bond restrictions regarding contact with other persons. This weekend is Easter, and he would like to be able to spend Easter with his family. The requirement on him is when he's around children under the age of 18 must be in the presence of his wife. Obviously, at an Easter dinner, his wife would be present. We're asking if the court would allow him to attend Easter celebration with his family.
Mr.
I have not
Sneed?
discussed that with Mr. Sneed. This is new to him, so.
So right now, he's supposed to be in the presence of his wife to be around anyone under the age of 18?
That's correct, other than his own family, Your Honor, yes, but his immediate family. So this would be
Right,
family
and
members.
Easter would be with his wife, so he would be in her presence if there were any minor children present?
Mr. Crystal, there would be under the age of 18, yes. Family members,
Mr.
correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Sneed, that appears to be in compliance with his bond conditions or no?
Yeah, so long as it comports with the bond conditions, we would have no objection.
So his bond conditions would allow that as long as his wife's present, Mr. Goldstein?
No, well, no, Your Honor, the bond condition right now
Oh.
is only his own children. Okay, and so we're asking that for that one day, he be allowed to be among other
Okay.
family members.
I see,
who are
I
not
see,
his-
I
his
see.
own
I'm
children.
sorry, I missed that. Mr. Sneed?
Yeah, people take no position. I defer to the court's discretion.
All right, that's fine. And Mr. Goldstein, if you want to prepare, do we need an order on that, or do you want Ms. Adams to do a bond thing?
I don't think we need an order, Your Honor. I think if it's understood, that's not, I
Okay.
don't know that I can get an order to you in time. So
Okay, okay, very good. Thank you.
thank you, Mr. Sneed.
All right, Ms. Adams, I have Mr. Goldstein and he has Mr. Mendoza, and I have, Doug Hartung here on that one as well, so if I could get Mr. Mendoza from the jail as well. All right, so let me go back to Ms. Underwood. Where'd he go? Mr. Crystal, you're all set, you can disconnect.
Thank you.
All right. You close the jail, breakout room,
Your Honor,
yes.
do you have a minute for just a brief Cobb's discussion?
Not really, because Judge Olsaver's got a jury trial starting at 10:30, so I need to get rid of you all.
I know.
So, and I've got 12 people in my waiting room, so, I'll give you 2 seconds. That's it.
Yeah.
All right. All right, I'm gonna, who is going in it? Bayoneto?
It's fine with anybody. It's Phoebe's case, but it's a Cobb's discussion, so just a
Well, if
prosecutor.
it's Phoebe's case and she's not here, Mr.
Yeah.
Steen or Mr. Bayoneto, are you able to speak on her behalf?
I will, Judge. Thanks.
Okay, all right, so I'm gonna put Miss Underwood, Miss Adams, and Mr. Sneed into a breakout room. You want to take a 2-minute break? You can. Thank you.
I was like, try not to snort. Because that was funny.
Yep.
All right.
All right, so we are back. Miss Underwood, what would you like to do now?
Your Honor, we've had a Cobb's discussion. Mr. McCarver, the offer is as charged without the subs, and the judge will agree to no further upfront prison time. It will only be a year or less in the county jail.
So, Mr. McCarver, do you understand that?
Yes,
And you've already
ma'am.
served about 6 months there.
All right, so Ms. McCarver, do you want to enter a plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Goldstein, do you need to speak? Who do I have joining me from the Lenawee County Jail with a beard and an orange shirt?
Yeah, this is Victor Mendoza.
All right, Mr. Goldstein, do you need a moment to speak with Mr. Mendoza or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Mendoza, I am going to pop you and Mr. Goldstein into a breakout room
Okay.
while I'm taking care of this other case. Okay, I'm gonna open those breakout rooms. All right,
Yeah,
so
thank you.
Mr. McCarver, raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, ma'am.
All right, can you state your full name on the record?
Matthew Lewis McCarver.
Okay, and Miss Underwood, what is the plea offer again? He would plead to,
Mr. McCarver will be pleading to one count of assaulting a prison employee, a 5-year felony. The habitual fourth will be dismissed, and Mr. McCarver has been cobbed by the court to no more than 1 year initial county jail time, Your Honor.
all right.
I believe that's an
Mr.
accurate recitation of the plea.
Okay, and Mr. McCarver, are you from Adrian or where's your hometown?
My hometown is in Stevensville, Michigan, by Benton
Okay.
Harbor, Michigan, in Berrien County.
Yep, okay, all right. All right, so Mr. McCarver, you heard the plea agreement that was placed on the record. Is it your intention to plead guilty to count 1, assault of a prison employee, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 5 years in prison and or a $2,500 fine, but with a Cobb's agreement that you would serve no more than 1 year in the Lenawee County Jail?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are you satisfied with Ms. Underwood as your attorney and the advice that she's given you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if other than the Cobb's agreement that was placed on the record, neither the prosecutor, the defendant, or anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed any other possible sentence with the court. Is that correct, Ms. Underwood?
It is, Your Honor.
Is that correct, Mr. Sneed?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. McCarver, is that correct as far as you're aware?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if a guilty plea is accepted, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have a prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial and to ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial and not to have your silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. Do you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable had you been convicted at trial? Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. Do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you, sir?
No, ma'am.
All right, how do you wish to plead to the charge that on or about December 17th of 2021 in the city of Adrian, in Adrian Township in the county of Lenawee, that you did commit the offense of assault of a prison employee? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
All right, has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty to this charge?
No, I just wanted to ask, should I state the plea agreement that was get forwarded into me, or should I just say no?
Well, it's just a yes or no. Has anyone made any threats or promises to you other than the plea
No.
bargain to induce you to plead guilty to the charge?
No, I
No?
have not. No,
Okay. Do you understand that if I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea? Do you understand that?
yes, ma'am.
Has your attorney promised you any particular sentence or estimated what your sentence will be other than the Cobb's agreement that you would serve no more than 1 year in the Lenawee County Jail?
No, she has not, ma'am.
All right, is it your own choice to plead guilty?
Yes,
Okay, so Mr. McCarver, on December 17th of 2021, were you residing at the Gus Harrison facility?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, and at that time, were you an inmate and lawfully imprisoned?
Yes, I was.
Okay, and at some point, you came in contact with a correction officer with the initials of MV, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay, and you knew that they were an employee of the Michigan Department of Corrections?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, and did you assault them in some way?
Yes, I did.
Okay, can you tell me what you did?
I threw 4 or 5 punches at his neck and chin, and I threw a telephone at him.
Okay, okay. All right, and you had no legal right to do that, correct?
Correct, ma'am.
All right. Has the court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D? Ms. Underwood?
It has, Your Honor.
Mr. Sneen?
Yes, thank you, Judge.
All right, I accept the plea. It has been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of his rights. He does have competent counsel. There has been a Cobb's agreement placed on the record. I am going to refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation. I'm going to set this for sentencing on May 25 at 8:30 in the morning. Now, Mr. McCarver, you do have the right to appear in person for sentencing, or you can appear via Zoom. Do you want to appear via Zoom or in person?
In person, ma'am.
All right. So, Mr. McCarver, someone from the probation department is going to meet with you over at the jail, and they're going to ask you questions about your background and the events that occurred. Be truthful with them, and then they'll prepare a pre-sentence report. Ms. Underwood will get a copy of that pre-sentence report, and she's really good. She'll come over, she'll review it with you, and then we'll see you back for sentencing on May 25 at 8:30 in the morning. All right?
All right.
All right. Thank you, Mr. McCarver. You're all set.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm actually going to, yeah, see. 1 second. Mr. Sala, I will believe, see, Ms. Heatherly, no. Do you have Miss Heatherly with you?
She's supposed to be zooming in. Thank you. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. I know Mr. Sala has a jury trial going on right now. Let me see if this is her, because I don't see her in my waiting room, but I have a Motorola. So I have everybody else I recognize in my waiting room, but I don't, like I said, I have this Motorola phone, so they're not connected. Maybe, no. Now they're trying to connect. Does I see a hand? Does that look like your client?
It does.
All right. Connect. All right, Miss Heatherly?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, just the other attorneys, as I said, Mr. Sala is in the middle of a murder trial, I think, right now. So I know that he has places he needs to be. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Shannon Marie Heatherly. There are 3 files. File number 2023-21248FH, 2023-21249FH, 2023-21250FH. I have Stanley Sala appearing on behalf of Ms. Heatherly, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. I have received an amended felony information on file number 23-21249FH. So, Mr. Sala, first I would ask, is your client entering a plea today, or are we setting it for another pretrial?
She's gonna enter a plea. My understanding is they've worked out a plea agreement.
Okay, file number 23-21249FH. Have you received the amended felony information?
I do have an amended information and it says count 1 assault with a dangerous weapon and count 2 assault aggravated.
Right, is she going to plead to either of those today? On that file?
She's gonna, that's file 2226.
49. Yeah, that 21249.
Yes, it doesn't say which of those she's pleading to. I don't know if the prosecutor can help me out here.
Yeah, I'm happy to. I can put the whole agreement on, but in respect to file ending 49FH, the offer is to plead to the count 2 aggravated assault and count 1 felonious assault would be dismissed.
Okay.
Okay. And is she pleading to anything on file number 23 or 23-21248?
Yes, the offer is to plead to, it appears count 3 is a home invasion, 3rd, and the other charges will be dismissed with restitution. There's also a recommendation of drug court if eligible.
Yes, that's my understanding. And the rest of the charges, misdemeanors would be dismissed and she would be responsible for any restitution.
Okay. And then what about file number 23-21250FH?
The offer in that case, Judge, is to have her plead to what appears to be count 1 uttering and publishing, and the forgery charge would be dismissed. Again, agreement of no upfront jail and a recommendation of drug court.
Right, so. All right. Okay, so does that sound right, Mr. Sal?
Yes, my notes indicate that on file 248FH, she's going to plead to home invasion, 3rd, dismiss the remaining with restitution and recommend drug court if eligible. And on file 249FH, the felonious assault would be dismissed. She pleaded to aggravated assault and dismissal if successfully completes drug court. And then on 1250FH, offer to plead to uttering publish.
Wait a second, what did you say about dismiss if she successfully completes drug court? What was that?
Yes, that was offer to plead to aggravated assault or dismissal if successfully completes drug court. And that's on file 1249.
Only on that file?
Yes.
Mr. Sneed?
Yes, Judge, I have no objection to that.
And then on
So
file,
it's only on that file it would be dismissed if completed drug court.
home invasion doesn't get dismissed.
Yeah, they're all supposed to get dismissed.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, it may be all for all files, Judge.
Yeah, all files.
Okay.
Yeah, that
So
would be the
all
only
of
thing
these-
that made sense.
Okay, thanks.
Sarah, you are not, okay, so all 3 of these files, if she enters and successfully completes drug court, the charges would be dismissed at the end of her term of probation.
Yes.
Yes, Judge.
And there'd be no upfront jail. That was the other thing.
Yep, I got that. Okay,
And then there's some misdemeanors down in District 2 that would be dismissed.
okay, so let me write this down.
This is one time being late worked because Christy finally showed up from her other hearing.
Yeah, all charges dismissed, okay. Okay,
Mr.
So-
Sala, I have not received a referral for drug court.
Well, Christine Hare has indicated to me you've been accepted into drug court. So we'll get that from them for you, but she just was here and told me
well,
you've already been.
hold on. Ms. Teskey, has she been? Have we even looked at her yet for drug court?
I'm gonna go through my emails, Judge. Her name does not sound familiar, but doesn't mean that we didn't do it.
Ms. Heatherly, could you, have you met with anybody from CMH?
Yes, I have. I believe her name was Amy. And they screened
Okay.
me, but I was accepted.
Oh,
Right.
she was
Okay.
approved, Judge. I'm sorry. That's my fault.
Excellent. All right, so Ms. Heatherly, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, can you state your full name for the record, please?
Heatherly.
Say that again because you kind of faded out.
Anna Marie Heatherly.
All right, so Ms. Heatherly, you've heard the statement of your attorney and the prosecuting attorney on file number 23-21248FH. Is it your intention to plead guilty to count 3, home invasion third, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 5 years in prison and or a $2,000 fine? And to plead guilty on file number 23-21249FH2. Hold on, let me get there. Count
Judge,
2.
I'm sorry. I'm showing home invasion as count 2. Is that what's on the information?
I have count 2, I'm sorry, did I say count 1? Count 2, home invasion third degree on file number 23-21248. And then on file number 23-21249FH to plead guilty to count 2, aggravated assault, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 1 year in jail and a $1,000 fine. And then on file number 23-21250FH to plead guilty to count 1, uttering and publishing, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 14 years in prison and or, okay, and then you're required to pay restitution on all of the files, successfully complete drug court. And if you do so, all the charges would be dismissed at the end. But then there's also a kill and crew of no upfront jail. So is it your intention to plead guilty to those 3 counts, ma'am, on those 3 files?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay, are you satisfied with Mr. Sala and the advice that he has given you?
Yeah.
All right, other than the entire agreement, which is pretty varied, has your neither the prosecutor, the defendant, nor anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed any other possible sentence with you in terms of how long your probation would be, fines and costs and requirements. Is that correct, Mr. Sala?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Sneed
Yes, Your Honor.
and Ms. Heatherton? Or
Yes, ma'am.
Heatherly?
That's
All right.
fine.
Okay, if a guilty plea is accepted, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have a prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial and ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial, not to have your silence used against you. You have also the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. Ma'am, do you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at trial? Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Do you understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right? Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. Do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you?
No, ma'am, I don't.
All right, so we're going to start with file number 23-21248FH. Ma'am, how do you wish to plead to the charge that on or about August 17th of 2022 in Palmyra Township in the county of Lenawee that you did commit the offense of home invasion 3rd degree? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
All right, and ma'am, how do you wish to plead to the charge on file number 23-21249FH that on or about September 13th of 2022 in Palmyra Township in the county of Lenawee that you did commit the offense of aggravated assault? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
And Ms. Heatherly, on file number 23-21250FH, how do you wish to plead to the charge that on or about November 9th of 2022 in the city of Tecumseh in the county of Lenawee that you did commit the offense of uttering and publishing? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
All right. Has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty to these charges other than what was placed on the record?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you understand if I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea? Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises or threats or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead guilty? Mr. Sala?
No,
Mr.
threats.
All right, Mr. Sneed?
No, Your Honor.
Other than the agreement, which is pretty comprehensive, Ms. Heatherly, has your attorney promised you any other particular sentence or estimated what your sentence will be?
No, ma'am.
All right, is it your own choice to plead guilty to these 3 files?
Yes, it is.
All right, so ma'am, I'm going to start with file number 23-21248FH. So, Ms. Heatherly, on August 17th of 2022, were you in Palmyra Township in the county of Lenawee?
Yes, I was.
And at that time, did you enter a dwelling located at 3400 Humphrey Highway, Palmyra Township?
Yes, I did.
All right, and did you have permission to enter that dwelling?
No, I did not.
And when you entered that dwelling, did you violate a valid personal protection order, term, or condition? That you had a no contact with an individual with the initials of RN?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Steen?
People are satisfied. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so on file number 23-21249FH, Ms. Heatherly, on September 13th of 2022 in Palmyra Township in the county of Lenawee, did you make an assault on an individual with the initials of BS and inflict an injury upon her, but not intending to murder or commit great bodily harm against her? Did you assault that person?
Yes.
Okay, and how did you assault them? Was it your fists? How did?
No, she came onto my property, excuse me, the home that I was at where there was the PPO against me. She was a neighbor. She came onto my property, and when I was trying to leave, she jumped inside the pickup truck that I was driving.
And
So how did you assault her?
I'm
Go
not
ahead.
sure. Because she
Mr.
thought I was.
Sala? Mr. Sala, why don't you volunteer her?
Miss Heatherly, did you in fact get in an altercation with her in the truck?
Yes, when her husband hit me with his vehicle, I asked her to get out. I wasn't aware she was in the truck. She said she thought I was trying to hit her with the vehicle, so I'm assuming that's where the assault comes into play.
Okay, so she was getting out of the truck while you were driving, or she was in front of the truck and you were driving toward her?
No, she had jumped inside of the vehicle. I didn't even know that she had done it. until
While the
it
truck was moving?
while I was trying to leave, yes.
Okay, and at that point in time, it was originally a felonious assault because it was alleged that the truck was being used as a weapon.
Yes, I assume that's what she's talking about.
Okay, and that was reduced to aggravated assault.
Yes.
Okay, hopefully that suffices.
All right, Mr. Stino, people satisfied?
Yes, thank you, Josh. Thank you, Mr. Stout.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sala. Let's move on to file number 23-21250FH. Ms. Heatherly, on November 9th of 2022, in the city of Tecumseh in the county of Lenawee.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and at that time, did you have a check number 3459 dated September 13th of 2022 in the amount of $125? Did you attempt to cash that check?
Yes, I did.
All right, and the person the check belonged to, their initials were MH. Did you have permission to write that check?
No, ma'am.
Did you sign MH's name to that check?
Yes.
Okay, and you had no right to do that?
No, ma'am.
And then your intention at that time would be to deprive MH of the value of that check, is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, Mr. Snyder, are people satisfied?
Yes, thank you, Josh.
All right, with regard to all three files, has the court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D? Mr. Sala
Yes, Your Honor.
and Mr. Steen?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
I accept all the pleas. They've been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of her rights. She does have competent counsel. This court has received a Killebrew agreement as described by the attorneys and will abide by that. But other than that, the court has made no agreement regarding the possibility of a plea or possible sentence with this case with the prosecutor, defense attorney, the defendant, or anyone acting in the interest of either of them outside of the killer. I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation. Mr. Sala, are you available on May 25 at 8:30 for sentencing?
Yes, Ms. Harrow will be available.
All right, May 25, 8:15 in the morning. So I will set this for sentencing on May 25 at 8:15 in the morning. Now, I'm going to put you in a breakout room with, I believe, Ms. Teskey from the Michigan Department of Corrections. She actually is in charge of the drug court as well. So she's going to give you instructions. I'm going to meet with them. When you do, be truthful with them about your background and the events that occurred. She'll prepare a pre-sentence report. We'll provide that to Mr. Sala and Ms. Hara. They'll get to review it with you, and then we'll see you back for sentencing on May 25 at 8:15 in the morning. Ms. Heatherly, you do have the right to be present in person for sentencing, but you can also Zoom, either from home or from Ms. Hara's office. Do you wish to appear in person or via Zoom?
I'd rather Zoom, please.
Okay. Ms. Teskey, do you need a breakout room with her, or did you find her information?
Yes, Judge, I would like a breakout, please.
Okay, so hold on a second. All right, so ma'am, I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Ms. Teskey from the Michigan Department of Corrections. Follow her instructions, make sure that you meet with them as required, and we will see back for sentencing. There you are. All right, Mr. Sala, go ahead and join that breakout room, Ms. Heatherly. Mr. Sala, I believe you're all set this morning.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, no, all right, thank you. So, Mr. Goldstein. Oh, Mr. What was this one? There's Mr. Mendoza. There it is. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Victor Mendoza. We have three files, 21-20375 FH, 21-20469 FH, and 21-20658 FH. I have David Goldstein appearing on behalf of Mr. Mendoza, and I have Douglas Hartung appearing on behalf of the people. So, Mr. Goldstein, I did give you a breakout room to speak with Mr. Mendoza, and I believe Mr. Mendoza is set for jury trial on April 25th of 2022 at 9 a.m. But I did hear you say that you have a murder trial going on to the end of April. So how are we proceeding today, Mr. Goldstein?
Well, Your Honor, in the last few days, Mr. Hartung and I have had some conversations that have taken the negotiations in a new direction. And so now I'm more optimistic that we might be able to get this matter resolved. But the problem is that Mr. Hartung is just starting a fairly substantial murder trial, and I start one on Monday. So I'll leave it up to both Mr. Hartung and the court as to whether we leave the matter on for trial for that date or whether we take it off the docket with the idea that we might be able to get these matters resolved.
You hear that shit? Fuck her.
I'm sorry, Miss Heatherly. You don't get to say fuck her about my probation department. And if you do, you might want to mute your phone. So your comments are duly noted, and I'm removing you. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. So, Mr. Goldstein and Mr. Hartung, or Mr. Hartung, do you have a response?
I guess my preference is, and I don't have a huge preferences. My preference is let's set a new date.
So this is truly my oldest file.
We know that, Your Honor, and it's, as I said, it's only been in the last few days that negotiations have taken a new direction.
Okay. So here's what I would say. I think I'm going to leave it on, but if you work it out, I will bring you in at 8 in the morning, 4:30, noon, whatever, for a resolution. And I'll accommodate obviously whatever schedule you have going on, Mr. Goldstein, and Mr. Hart. I mean, if we need to adjourn it, we can. I just know I don't have any, I've got trial set like constant. So,
Your Honor, the problem is, in all seriousness, I know Mr. Hartung's trial is going to last all this week and probably a good part of next week. I'm going to be in trial for about 2 weeks. In order to get this matter resolved, it's going to require he and I to do some discussions and then probably a meeting with my client. And that's all going to have to be scheduled around the two trials that Mr. Hartung and I are in right now. And that's why we might want to consider taking it off.
So how about I set it for pre-trial? I'll take the jury trial off my docket, which is, and then I'll set it for pre-trial May 3rd at 8:30.
That'll work, Your Honor. If Mr. Hartung's okay with that.
That's fine. I think that's smart because they've actually extended our trial date out to 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, and so, all right, so Mr. Mendoza, I'm gonna set this over. I'm gonna take your jury trial off the docket. Obviously, you're like one of my oldest files, so if I have to reschedule your trial date, it'll bump everybody else. So, I will, and you know, so don't worry, you wouldn't be set out forever. And I'm gonna set this for pre-trial on May 3rd at 8:30 in the morning.
All right, thank you. I'll do the stip in order, Your Honor.
Okay. And we'll see you back on May 3rd at 8:30 in the morning.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Thank
All right,
you.
Mr. Goldstein, do you have any others? Thank you, Mr. Mendoza.
Yeah, you guys have a good one. Thank you.
Just Judge
Thank you.
Olsaver. Just Judge Olsaver, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Goldstein.
Thank you.
Yeah. And never mind, the door open.
And that would be a pre-trial. All right, I got Dawn. Let me see. Miss Van Duzen, let me see what I got.
Your Honor, I have John Dotson. With him, I just need another pretrial date. This is,
All right.
I need to
So-
run his guidelines.
Hold on, Becky, I haven't called the case. Becky, could I, do you want, Mr. Dotson brought in?
No, I know you're busy this morning.
All right, let me call it. In the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus John Anthony Dotson, 3 files, 20-19905 FH, 22-20897 FH, and 23-21216 FH. I have Don Van Duzen appearing on behalf of Mr. Dotson, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This was a date and time set for 2 pretrials, a contempt of court and a probation violation. Ms. Van Duzen, Mr. Dotson is in the jail. I can have him zoomed in. You're asking for an adjournment to review the guidelines,
Yes, Your Honor. And
and you waive Mr. Dotson being present.
no, I waive having him present here today. He is aware that I'm going to put it out. So I'd ask the court just to proceed with getting the trial date.
A trial date or a pretrial date?
Pre-trial, Your Honor. I believe
All
this
right,
is being pled.
I can do 3 weeks or 4 weeks.
Let's do 4 weeks, Your Honor.
All right, May 3rd at 8:30 in the morning.
Perfect. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay,
I will do
and
the stipulation on that.
all right, thank you very much, Ms. Van Duzen.
Thank you.
Do you have? Yeah, Dotson, do you have anything else, Ms. Van Duzen? Oh, she's already gone. All right, I do have Mr. Reinhardt, who's involved.
Hello?
Hi, Mr. Reinhardt, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Gary Lee Reinhardt, file number 2019-19763 FH. Mr. Reinhardt, we are here today on a request in summons for a probation violation. And you received a copy of the request in summons as well as the notice of hearing, is that correct?
I have a request and summons from probation violation, yes.
Okay, all right. So, Mr. Reinhardt, the allegations are count 1, that you violated the terms of your probation, that you failed to obtain full-time verifiable employment. And the second allegation is that you have failed to make the required monthly payments for child support. Do you understand those are the 2 allegations against you?
Yeah, but I don't agree to them.
Well, it doesn't matter yet, but I also have Sarah Brenner appearing on behalf of the Attorney General, since this is an Attorney General felony child support failure to pay case. So, Mr. Reinhardt, you do have the right to have an attorney represent you at this and all subsequent hearings. If you can't afford to hire one, we can appoint you one at public expense. Do you want an attorney appointed to represent you?
Yes, I do.
All right, so Mr. Reinhardt, I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. What time is it? It's 9:30. Mr. Reinhardt, Miss Adams.
Yes.
What does tomorrow or 1:30 look like? or 11? I don't know what to do with this one.
Today or tomorrow, Judge?
Yeah.
I don't know, Miss Adams. We have a lot to get through this morning.
Are
And I
you
know I
asking-
have. Yeah, I'm just asking when you think I should set this over to, late this morning or?
Sometime today would be better than tomorrow.
Ms. Brenner, are you available at
I can do
1:30?
this afternoon, Judge.
All right,
That works.
so, Mr. Reinhardt, what I'm going to do is enter a not guilty plea and appoint counsel to represent you. And then I'm
Okay.
gonna set it over to 1:30 today. So I'm gonna need you to call back in or Zoom at 1:30 today, all right?
Okay, so if I'm supposed to meet with a council, how am I gonna do that if I don't have, I'm in Newaygo, Michigan.
Mr. Reinhardt, I will put you in a breakout room with them to talk. You'll get to talk to the attorney this afternoon. So I'm gonna set it over to 1:30 today. So just call back in at 1:30 today, all right?
Okay,
And then you'll be able to go like in a waiting room with the attorney and talk.
okay, so just wait on the phone?
No, you're gonna hang up and you're gonna call back at 1:30.
What, how am I supposed to talk with this attorney?
The same way you're talking to me right now.
So, they're gonna contact me, I guess is what I'm asking?
No, at 1:30, I'll put you in a private telephone holding room and you'll get to talk to him.
Okay. So
Okay.
call back at 1:30 then, I guess is what I'll do.
Yeah, you're gonna hang up and you're gonna call back at 1:30.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I still don't have Mr. Malaro, so he's done it. All right, Mr. Reinhardt, I'm gonna disconnect you. Okay. So I have a bunch of attorneys. I think all the defense attorneys are next door because Judge Olsaber's trial is starting at 10:30.
Judge, do you have Chris Brown even in your waiting room? Because that's the one I have with Rhonda. She didn't know if he was here or not.
He's not in my waiting room.
Oh, okay.
Did you ever call Lape back?
Call what?
Lape?
No, he's never showed up either, but I haven't called it yet. I'm waiting for
Okay.
Rhonda to be back.
Okay.
Rhonda went next door to Judge Olsaber. So. All right, I have a lady calling in with a yellow wall behind her. What is your name, please?
Lisa Hannawalt,
All right, who is your attorney, Miss Hannah?
Mr. Sam Marlano.
Okay, so Mr. Malaro is next door with Judge Olsaber. He has a trial, so he'll be with us shortly. So I'm gonna change your name and I'm gonna pop you in the waiting room, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Great, we're gonna take a minute recess because I am heavy on prosecutors, but light on defense attorneys.
What's that?
Oh, sure, yeah.
I didn't want to be rude.
Oh, no,
Thank you.
you're fine, thank you.
I need my mom to know what is going on, so I can either help you, help her, help me with this problem. Or what I can.
Carol Burnett's turning 90 years old.
Carol Burnett?
Yeah,
Wow.
still getting around.
Yeah, that was a good show.
Yeah.
Can I just use a question?
Sure.
He has probation today.
Okay.
Will this take longer than he has to go downstairs and report, or should he tell them now that he's up here?
What time's is the probation appointment?
Anytime this morning, like, I don't know if it's between 9 and 11 or 9 and 12. I don't remember the times. But all right, Rhonda.
Well, you might want to, Judge, she has a question. The gentleman has probation that she's with downstairs, and he's worried that he'll miss Sam Malaro.
He's fine. He'll come back up. Just have him come up when he's done.
Have him go down now? And do
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Okay. That's what we weren't sure.
Okay,
how
good.
to kind of-
Rhonda Underwood, Sarah Brenner, Rhonda, Sarah. Chris Brown, right?
Yes, Judge.
Miss Underwood?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Christopher Owen Brown, file number 2021-20325FH. This is the date and time scheduled for a pretrial conference. In this matter, I do have a stipulation in order to adjourn the pretrial signed by Ms. Underwood, the public defender for the individual, and Sarah Brenner with permission on behalf of the Assistant Attorney General. Adjourning the pretrial to today, so I'm going to assume, Ms. Underwood, that was provided to your client, correct?
I believe that was on the record in court, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Brown is not in my waiting room.
And he had made a commitment to make a payment after that hearing, Judge, which he did not do. So I'm not surprised he isn't here today. People are requesting a bench warrant.
Okay, Ms. Underwood?
Your Honor, I left a message for Mr. Brown. Other than that, I have no other information.
All right, and what is his arrearage, Ms. Brenner?
It's $10,666.33.
Is it an ongoing case?
No, Judge.
All right. So, Ms. Underwood, I'm going to issue a bench warrant for his failure to appear. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $10,667 cash. And obviously, if you get a hold of them, let us know. Ms. Underwood, I also had a pickup this morning on a gentleman named Gary Reinhardt. You will be receiving that paperwork. It was set for 1:30 this afternoon, and Ms. Brenner's prosecutor.
Oh, okay.
It's a probation violation.
In the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Christopher David Late, file number 2022-20901FH. Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Late. And Ms. Holly is here from the Michigan Department of Corrections. Today is the date and time scheduled for sentencing in this matter. Mr. Late has not appeared. He was set for 8 AM. Obviously, I gave him an hour and 50 minutes to appear. He's still not appeared. Ms. Underwood, do you have any information on Mr. Late?
I do not, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm going to issue a bench warrant for his arrest for failure to appear. I'm gonna set bond in the amount of $2,003 cash. And obviously, Ms. Underwood, if you hear from him or if he shows up, one of us will let the other know, right?
Your Honor, on Mr. Ittrick, do we have another date?
No, because I haven't called it, because I wouldn't call it without you. So let me find them on my docket. In the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Richard James Ittrich, ITRICH, file number 2023-21321FH. This is the date and time set for arraignment in this matter. He is in the Michigan Department of Corrections, and we were not able to locate a writ. So I'm going to set this over to April 19th for rearrangement.
Thank you, Your Honor. And just
Mr.
to
Sneed,
notify
that'll
the
be
court,
at 8:15 in the morning, and
I don't believe Mr. Late,
hold on. And
Okay.
Mr. Sneed, can you make sure they do a writ on him?
We will, Judge. Thank you.
just
All
to
right. so
clarify,
that's-
on Mr. Ittrich, Your Honor, Mr. Ittrich, I don't believe waives his appearance in person at any time.
Well, he doesn't have a right to appear in person for anything but sentencing, so it'll be via Zoom and,
Okay, I just wanted to make the court aware of that.
all right, well, he hasn't told me yet, but the only thing I think technically has a right to be in person for is sentencing, but we do try to accommodate. And I think he's at Gus Harrison, so if he asks to be in person, we'll work with him, all right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so Miss Underwood, we took care of Lake, we took care of McCarver, we took care of Ittrich. Christopher Brown failed to appear. I have Darnez Johnson. Let me get his file. In the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Darnez Donald Johnson, file number 22-20959FH. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Johnson. I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. I do show that there is a people's writ of habeas corpus asking Marquette Correctional Facility to Zoom Mr. Johnson in. And they have failed to do so. So I'll adjourn this pretrial. And we will set it to, oh gosh, give me at least 2 weeks. So why don't we do April 19th as well at 8:30 in the morning? And Mr. Sneed will need another writ from the people.
Understood. Thanks, Judge.
Okay, so did not show. And Ms. Underwood, you do a step order to adjourn. Ms. Underwood, you'll do the step in order to adjourn to April 19th at 8:30 a.m.
I can do that, Your Honor.
Okay. And then you do one on, what was the other one we just did? Can you do one on Ittrich as well?
I can do that, Your Honor.
Okay, so that takes care of that one. And we took care of Lentz. Ms. Underwood, thank you, and I think you're free to go, and I'll see you at 1:30, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Dagger Margosi. D'Angelo Williams. Miss Adams, could I get Mr. Williams from the jail? And then you have
Your Honor.
Santamore. I have Mr. Santamore in my waiting room.
Your Honor, can I suggest doing Mr. Williams after some of these cases? It's gonna, maybe Isaac agrees, I don't know, but it's gonna be a complicated plea and it might make sense to just get other people done.
So you are the only defense attorney I have, so I can do them after your other ones.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Thank you.
But I mean, if I call for him at the jail now, it'll take a while to get him.
Gotcha.
Okay, so let's go to, all right, there's Williams. There is Santamore. Let me bring Mr. Santamore. He's got to connect to audio. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. 2 seconds, Jeff. I'll be right back.
Okay. Stopwatch.
What's that?
2 seconds. Yeah, stopwatch.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just kidding. It's fun. Oh, geez. You got sleep last night. Tight.
Yeah, there's a little bit of thunder. Kind of woke up and.
See, Janet told me, it just poured and windy and, stuff. And I just sleep right through that. Oh.
Hello?
Okay. Okay, yeah, not connecting the audio. Let me see who else we got. Faith, is it Faithy or Faithy or
Faithy.
Faithy?
Mhm.
Let's look at my chat. He's trying. All right. In Overton, she's in jail. Now it's connected.
Hi. Hello.
Hi, sir. Can you pronounce your last name?
Yes, I can.
Go ahead. What's your last name?
Oh, Faithy.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I pronounced it correct. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Timothy Charles Faithy Sr. file number 23-21219FH. I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people, and I have Michael Dagger-Margosian appearing on behalf of Mr. Faithy. This is the date and time set for a pretrial in this matter. Mr. Dagger-Margosian, how do you wish to proceed?
Your Honor, we had a preliminary exam in district court. We've filed for the transcript. I'm anticipating that there's going to be a motion to quash here, but we haven't received the transcript yet. It looks like the request went in on March 20th. I think that's when district court stamped it. But my understanding is that they're kind of backed up on transcripts anyway. So I'm going to be asking for an adjournment and, however long the court wants to set that for.
Right, how far are you looking for? About 6 weeks?
I was thinking 6 to 8 weeks. I mean, just to make sure that they have time downstairs to do what they need to do.
All right. What about May 24 at 8:30 in the morning?
That's fine. Thank you.
So Mr. Faithy, I'm going to adjourn this out to May 24 at 8:30 a.m. And Mr. Dagger-Margosian, you'll do the stipend order to adjourn.
I will.
All right, and Mr. Faithy, we'll have to log back in the same way you did, the same number today as you did today on May 24 at 8:30 in the morning for a pretrial.
Okay,
Your bonds continued. Thank you, Mr. Faithy.
thank you.
You can disconnect. All right, Mr. Santamore is not, I'm going to remove him only because he's not connecting.
Sure.
And I've sent a chat and he's still not connecting. So I don't know if he fell asleep because he's been here. He was here on time.
Yeah.
But unless you want to try calling him.
I can try calling him.
All right, I'm gonna remove him,
Mhm.
and that way maybe he'll realize it.
Mhm.
All right, Mr. Overton is in jail. Mr. Glazier.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hold on, yeah. You have Greg Beaverson, so let me let him in, get him connected to audio. Mr. Beaverson, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Greg Darrell Beaverson, file number 2021-20238FC. I have John Glazier appearing on behalf of Mr. Beaverson, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for a pretrial in this matter. Mr. Glazier, how do you wish to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Malaro had been assigned this case because of a problem in it's going on in his family. I'm taking the case over. I've never met with Mr. Beaverson. It is a lengthy police report. And it's a very serious case. So I'd ask for a pretrial to be adjourned and have Mr. Beaverson come in and meet me, and so we can discuss this matter.
All right, Mr. Glazier, can you give me a date and time to give Mr. Beaverson on the record so that he knows he needs to come in?
I was
Or no?
hoping like 60 days, maybe.
No, when do you want him to come meet with you? When do you have an available time to meet with him?
Whenever he wants. He should call my office and speak to Leo.
Okay. So Mr. Beaverson, so Mr. Glazier, who is our chief public defender, will be taking over your file. Mr. Malaro has had some issues arise that, family stuff that's going on that he needs to deal with. So I need you to call the public defender's office and set up an appointment to meet with Mr. Glazier, okay?
Yep, okay.
And then I'm gonna Mr. Sneed, any objection to me setting this out to June 7th at 8:30 for a pretrial?
No, thank you, Judge.
So Mr. Beaverson and Mr. Glazier, I will set this pretrial out to June 7th at 8:30 in the morning for a pretrial. Mr. Glazier, have you received all the information you need?
I have, Mr. Beaverson, I would ask you to call and talk to Leo. That's my
Okay.
secretary, and he'll get you in as quick as we can.
Okay.
All right, so your bond conditions are continued and we'll see you back on June 7th at 8:30 in the morning. Thank you, Mr. Beaverson.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I have a gentleman from the jail. What is your name, please?
Yanslow Williams.
All right, Mr. Williams, hold on a second. And do my paperwork. All right, is your first name D''A''N"?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right, so I just changed your screen name. So, hold on one second. Mr. Glazier, you also have Mr. Bixler and Mr. Arturo Kuhn, but I don't have them yet from the jail, so I'm going to, is that all right, Mr. Dagger-Margosian? We take Mr. Williams next.
Whatever you need, Judge. Yeah, of course.
Okay, did you get, oh, I got Mr. Santamore. Are you taking a plea on Santamore or just getting another day?
It will be a plea to Haida, yes.
All right, Mr. Williams, Mr. Santamore, I called it before yours, so you just hang out for just a moment. Let me take care of Mr. Santamore.
Okay.
Is Mr. Dagger-Margosian, you wanted me to take care of that one first, right?
I think it makes sense, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Santamore, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So I'm gonna need you to speak up a little bit because you are kind of quiet. So, all right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jordan James Wilson Santamore, file number 2023-21313H. I have Michael Dagger-Margosian appearing on behalf of Mr. Santamore, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. So, Mr. Dagger-Margosian, all parties are via Zoom. So, Mr. Dagger-Margosian, this is a date and time set for arraignment in this matter. Do you waive the reading of the felony information?
Yes, Your Honor, we'll stand mute.
Okay, and how do you wish to proceed today?
Your Honor, Mr. Baynetto and I have reached a resolution in this matter. Mr. Santamore will be pleading guilty to the information count 1 as charged, and that will be under Haida, and we are ready to do so at this time.
Okay, all right.